And here we are again. Welcome everybody. This is Thorm with the Game Design Lexicon. We are going to be playing some Fool's Errand today. I hope everybody's having a wonderful Friday today, the end of the week into the weekend. Welcome everybody. So today we are going to be playing what I'm hoping is the last day of Fool's Errand. So a few notes on this to start off with as far as this play session. So I went back and looked at the video footage of, I think it was last session that I did. Near the end of the game, at least I think to get through all the puzzles of Thoth, there was one, it was a triple anagram with, 3 5-letter words, right? And they had to be in a specific order too. You couldn't have the right words in the wrong order, right? So that automatically multiplies the possibility of failure by 3. And then on top of that, with the 5 characters per word, so the totals of 15 characters that they gave you, it gave a possibility 57 times 3, so 171 possible answers to that puzzle, right? That I would have had to have sat and entered in over and over and over until I solved it. And I remember halfway through the puzzle, because once you actually solve the first one, then it goes to a second one and then a third one, and each one has a different number of anagrams with a certain different number of charactered words. And I think after the second or third one, they started giving you hints to what the words were. And I hadn't noticed them. And the reason why I hadn't noticed them is because the very first one, the one with 171 different possible answers, didn't give you that hint. It didn't have a hint on that one, at least according to the video footage. I'm going to have to go back and watch it again. I have it slated on my to-watch list again. So actually, I need to go through all the Fool's Errand stuff and make sure that they turned out okay, which, you'd think I'd do that before I release it. But no. Let's see. Today, we are... And the reason why I went into that diatribe about that one puzzle, by the way, is today I'm going to try and finish the game, and I am going to I'm probably going to more liberally use the walkthrough, the cheat this time, to make sure that I finish it, and to kind of help, because some of the puzzles are getting really tough, right? I need music. Sweet music. They were swinging, swaying, records playing, dancing in the streets. Okay, and I also got my code wheel up. Where the hell is my music? So, VLC. First question is it going to be nice about streaming music? Maybe I shouldn't stream it. Maybe I should just go back to my normal playlist. I don't know. I don't really know. Let's do the synthwave, right? Let's try it at least. And then if it doesn't work, I'll go to my normal playlist. So, boop, boop. And, hey, looks like it might be, nope. Okay. Not working. So, I guess I will just go to my regular playlist, which is boink. Hey, welcome, X-Ban. Welcome to the stream today. Hope your Friday's going well. As I was just explaining, so last week when I was playing this game, I did an anagram puzzle that had 171 different possibilities of triple anagrams with 5 characters each, and it didn't give a hint on it. And I didn't realize that until I went through the video footage. So this week, I'm going to be using the hint file a little bit more liberally, just so I can get through that a little quicker. I want to try and finish this game today if all possible. Okay, what are we doing here? Firefox. Zoinks. Okay, so let's do the copy protection here, right? So we got Sun, Empress, Tower, front. Good to hear it's going good, X-Ban. Let's see, Sun, and as usual, I put my results on the, can you see that? Yeah, the right side, because I'm right-handed. I don't know. I don't know. That's just reasoning. The Empress, that's her, right? Boink. This code wheel doesn't like it rotates as wonky as like the code wheels that you'd actually get, which I guess is kind of realistic, but it makes for a pain in the ass when you can't see some of the shit because the thing's out of sync. Okay, so code wheel done. Our symbol is a little plus sign, right? So let's look. Plus with a circle, that is. So this one here, which is heart, hourglass, omega, sword, and Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade symbol. I don't know what the fuck that is. Okay, so let's go into that. Heart. Hourglass. Omega, sword, Indiana Jones. Hey! I haven't fucked that up once, which is kind of amazing. Okay, and let's transition back over. And we need to load our game. Bonk. 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 And that should get us back to here. And we were on the sun, which is our last puzzle. Got the map completed. We cheated for that, I believe. So, sorry. Okay. Where's... I can't believe for my links for this game, I got 2 anagram solvers and 2 walkthroughs in my notepad. So, scroll puzzles. How's everything looking? Okay? Sounding okay, I guess. So, now we have what's called the treasure puzzles, right? All treasure puzzles, except for the Maze of Thorns, are best played in mouse mode. Whatever. When the sun puzzle's been completed, 14 treasures must be identified and entered in the Book of Thoth crossword puzzle, displayed by clicking on the scroll icon above the lower right. Oh, it's this one right here, right? So that's it right there. That's what they want me to enter all this into. And whenever you click on one of these, it gives a hint. So the kings are confused. Within the kingdom of the pentacles, the queens are confused, right? Another kings are confused. So I guess each one of these are their own hint, right? So, yeah. And there are 14 of them from top to bottom. And that's what I have to solve, right? So, was it space to get back to the map? Enter? Shit. How do you get back to the map? I remember there was a quick way to get back to the map, but... Oh, return to map. Alt-R. So, I need to fill out that scroll. And I can do that when I hold down Alt. It gives me all the puzzles in the game. And I can just click on them from the map, right? So, I can click on the puzzle, and then I can do this one here. Now, one of the things that I learned about this maze puzzle is there are secret passages in it. So I'm going to have to redo that and see if I can't figure that out. Each one of the little dudes, as a matter of fact, maybe that's going to be the first one I do is the maze puzzle, because that's probably going to be the easiest. And all these other ones are puzzles that I need to do. I don't know what the hell that even means. Oh no, roar. Yeah, so again, if I get stumped at all during this, and the reason why I know there are secret passages in the maze is because it says you can complete it without anything else, and I didn't think I could. And of course, I looked at the map of it, but didn't really look at the solution. So I know that there are secret doors in there. So let's start at the top of the scroll here. Right? The kings are confused. So now this is what it expects you to know, right? From the map, collect the letters O, E, A, and R from the... So if I click on, what is it? This one, right? It gives me the King of Swords, right? So it says the kings are confused. So if I go to... Why does it not show this one? Oh, yeah, here we go. King of Swords. Well, did that really take me to the King of Swords? What the hell? Wait a second. Is it Alt-R to go back to the map? Oh, that doesn't work in here. So, Alt-M to go to the map. So, when I... what happens when I click on that? The King of the Swords, page 1 of 2. Oh, okay, yeah, it does take me to the same one. So, it says the kings are confused, right? Now, the King of Swords, the King of Pentacles, the King of Cups, and the King of Wands all have corresponding tiles, right? So if I go to the map, these are the corresponding tiles, right? And I can find those by holding down Shift. And you'll notice it gives it to me up at the top. The King of Swords, the King of Pentacles, the King of Wands, the King of Cups. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in my little notebook here. O-E-R-A, right? And it says the kings are confused. So in the corresponding section on V, right? I think that's it. So we'll also go to the King of Swords, right? And we'll read through this little article here. And in there, it'll give me the letter N, right? Hey, X-Band, you're back up to 20 consecutive streams. My God. Thank you very much, by the way. So we got an N. And then I'm going to write that one down. Next, we'll go to the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles has a T. So we'll put the T in the notes. T. And we'll keep on going here. The King of Wands has a U, right? And last but not least, the... wait a second. No, the Thief? King of Wands. Wait a second. King of Wands, King of Cups, King of Pentacles, King of Swords. I missed one, didn't I? In Z. I missed the Z from King of Pentacles. Okay, so from these articles, we have N, Z, T, U, right? And then lastly, we want to look at the items themselves, the wand, the pentacle, the cup, and the sword, right? Because that's what they are. They're the King of the Pentacles, King of the Cup. What a sad world I live in where I have to think, I would have preferred Jeb Bush to have become president. Yeah, I know, huh? When you pine for the days of old GW, right? or George Bush Sr., you know. Hell, I can handle an illegal war in Panama. That just seems okay. That just seems normal at this point. Anyway, so I started animating my I recorded all my vocals for my warning, and I've started animating it. It's should be done soon. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. And like I said, I hope it drives engagement too, because people are going to see that and they're going to be like, "Oh, I guess I should watch this guy's stuff." And of course it'll run people away, which is part of the thing. Got my coffee. Got my coffee, by the way. Okay. So next we have oh yeah, so next we need to find the sword, the pentacle, the cup, and the wand, right? There's the sword. So that's an E. Right? And then the sword, the pentacle. Where was the sword? Oh, the sword. Are they all in the same one? Of course they're not all in the same one. The pentacle. There's the pentacle. That's on 2. And this one is only 1 page. Letter B. So B on that one. Oh, what did I do? Oh, shit. When you told me about making your disclaimer, couldn't help but think of a track from Trent Reznor's soundtrack for the Watchmen miniseries. Trigger warning. Hell, I was just talking about Reznor the other day. Or actually, I was talking about him earlier. We were talking about video games that give you the option of actually, like, censoring the video game so you could stream them without having problems. And they were talking about one specific video game that had, like, 5 different censor tags. It had, like, a censor tag for language, music, nudity, violence. It was kind of amazing that the developer would actually include that type of ability in the game. I kind of like that. I kind of like that, the idea that you can choose one or the other. And I brought up Trent Reznor and how Trent Reznor pretty much what's the word for it? He made censorship more salacious than having the open phrases, right? And he did that by making the song "Animal," right? I want to fuck you like an animal, because bleeping out the words made the phrase more salacious, more more vulgar than if he would have left the term in there. Because of course, context is anything, context is everything. Yeah, I remember watching the movie Watchmen a long time ago. I really need to revisit it. I really wasn't big on the movie the first time I watched it, but it could have been where I was in life. I was with my last partner, and she didn't really like movies all that much. And it may have just been, sour grapes from all that shit. And I didn't know they had a miniseries. But, yeah, no, that's actually one of the reasons why I like Trent Reznor. Aside from the fact that he was carrying on the legacy of self-production, right? So he was, I guess, the second big example of self-production. One of the reasons why I completely respect Trent Reznor, so every major, form of media that we have, for example, print is a good example, right? When those types of media initially comes around, it is usually held in the hands of authority initially, right? So in the case of print, it was held in the hands of typically the clergy, right? Or rich people, because those are the only people who could make books, because they were all handwritten at the time, right? And that was, of course, crushed with the invention of the printing press, right? It's one of the reasons why I guess the Luddites have become such a joke, right? Because they were pretty much fighting against the mass distribution of knowledge, which it's just stupid, right? So anyway, self-production, or should I say, even better yet, giving media to the masses. The second example that I can think of is with music, right? Up until I would say the early 70s, music production was pretty much left in the hands of large business, right? They were the only ones who could really viably do it. And the first band that came along and crushed that, made it to where, took the first step in making it to where you didn't need a large company to make a viable record album, was the band Boston, which calling them a band is a bit of a misnomer, because Boston was really just Tom Schultz in his basement with Brad Delp belting out vocals, right? Because he pretty much produced the entire thing himself. As a matter of fact, once they got a record contract and the record company told them to re-record the album, Tom Schultz took the money they gave him, got a bunch of session musicians or people he knew who could act as members of the band, and basically told them to hang around and fuck around in a studio while he went home and recorded the whole thing himself. And that was probably one of the first steps in moving audio production to the masses, right? To making it to where record companies, large companies, weren't in control of that form of media anymore. What am I doing here? Oh, yeah. And the second instance of that was Reznor, in the mid to late 80s, when he basically, so the big thing with Tom Schultz is at the time that Tom Schultz did it, records were still the main form of media, and tapes were still not as viable. So while he could actually produce his own music, he couldn't really distribute it as well. And Trent Reznor pretty much was one of the people of that era that smashed it to fucking pieces, because by that time, tapes were viable, and Reznor pretty much made himself popular with that. Self-produced all of his stuff, was one of the first artists to popularize the use of digital recording and Pro Tools, and distributed his work on pirated cassette. Anyway, brief history of media lessons. There's also the same thing that's happened with video. That's one of the reasons why Kevin Smith is such an important figure in the movie industry, as much as I hate to say it, because he's a bit of a buffoon, but he was one of the first people to self-produce and self-distribute. Okay, so I got all my letters, right? We're ready for the first one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we got 12 letters. So we got 2 6-letter words, right? Which means I should have gotten 12 letters from all that. And what I did get, 4 each, right? So what I did get was OERANZTUEBTS. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up my multiple word anagram solver. And I'm going to enter that into it. Put it at 2 words at 6 characters. And it should spit out all the possibilities, right? X-Men, was that series any good? Did you like it? I tend to stay away from a lot of most media production when it comes to TV shows, because TV shows are pretty much very often crap. Okay. So we got minimum letters 6, max words 2, find anagrams. So that basically gives us 3 different answers. Now, this one actually looks kind of obvious. BRONSE. Soundtrack alone is worth the price of admission. Nice, nice. Well, that's awesome. Maybe I'll check it out then. So, bronze, and then statue. Is that right? How do you know if it's right? So the only other ones are outset brazen and astute bronze. Because of course statue is also astute, right? But bronze statue seems to be the most logical one out of it. So let's go with that. Within the Kingdom of the Pentacles is the next one. So within the Kingdom of the Pentacles. What the hell did that? Oh. That's weird. So was that right? Was that what I was supposed to put there? Oop. No. If you know which is which, enter the letters you wish to switch. I don't really know what the fuck that is, so let's get out of that. How do I get out of that? Oh, that's weird. I hit escape and this little guy comes here. Damn it, how do I get out of this? Oh, wait a second. Return to map. Alt-R. There's a certain propaganda element which you really can't escape in the USA. However, it's a little prophetic as cops are masked. However, in an ironic twist, it's conservatives are against the show. Are against it in the show. The conservatives are against masked cops? Yeah, however is, so that was one of them that I had a problem with in college, because however is one of those words that you use to break up like a comparative set of ideas. So you'd end up using it a lot in the very center. You know, you'd say, you know, da 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 da. However, da 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 da, and it's probably one of the easiest words that people come to in that. So you know, you tend to say it a lot unless you really think about it. And I had to be very conscious of that when I was in college because I did it a lot. Anyway, yeah, that's kind of weird since conservatives are typically the authoritarians of the bunch. Okay. So, bronze statue is what I got from that. Let me see where I am here. Bronze statue. Let's see. Unscramble the 12 letters to derive the name of the treasure. Bronze statue. So the next one is within the Kingdom of the Pentacles. The treasure can be found by solving the secondary crossword puzzle located at the boundaries of the Page of Pentacles and the Merchant map location. So the Page of Pentacles. Where's the Page of Pentacles? And wow, we only got one of these done. I don't know if you remember in the movie that Nixon was president all the way in the 80s, but after the events of that, there's an actor president. Oh, great, great. I'm guessing that it isn't really popular with the conservative audience if it's lampooning two of the great conservative presidents in their mind. It's Robert Redford. Whatever. That's a rough analogy there, dude. I don't really know. I don't really know what Robert Redford's political leanings were, honestly. Anyway, that is break number 1. This is Storm with the Game Design Lexicon. We are currently playing the Fool's Errand for MS-DOS in DOSBox ECE. If you like the content here, if you like watching us live, go ahead and hit the follow button on Twitch, where we do stream currently Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, noon p.m. till 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's GMT -6, or if you can't catch us live, by all means, get us over on the YouTubes. Just hit subscribe and the alert button to know we're coming out with new content. Otherwise, you can catch any of our other social media platforms in our abouts. I'm going to take a short music break, and I will be right back after that with some more